your perception to automation part of the solution? Is it nice to have the customer scene or the must to have?
So the long story short, it's a must to have.
Yeah.
Okay. The short story or the long story is when you build the network security, or when you look back on the network security and there need to be able to modify rules, push rules, remove rules, and so on, you look on endless number of tickets and endless number of actions. Okay. And I'll give you an example based on a customer use case. Okay, we have a customer that runs thousands of tickets per month, that has a large team of network engineers that needs to execute that. And because the demand to change is larger and keep growing exponentially, he cannot hold all of that. So either he will need to triplicate his manpower, or he needs to be able to automate and engage technology to automate those processes and to make it more efficient. And he didn't change the manpower, but he managed to make the manpower that he has 10 times more efficient with us. So a good example with that customer is that he used to take 50 days SLA to close a ticket on average, which is very high even to the market. We usually see around 30 days. Mm-hmm. And he managed to take it down to 2 days. Okay. When you calculate that, and when you're an executive calculating the ROI on the time that you manage to save, that's remarkable. Okay. So to your question on the automation is a core piece, but it also have levels. It's not 0 or 1. There are what we call in our terminology 6 levels of automations, from basic automation to more advanced, to all the way to the zero-touch automation. And also, you don't always want that it will have zero-touch automation in all areas. There are areas that you need to take a decision. You need to take a decision based on the situation, based on the business impact, based on many other components that eventually the human being needs to take care and take the responsibility and take the action. So there is a spectrum between no automation to zero-touch automation, and we are playing across all of that spectrum, providing to our customers, and they are able to tune in the right way that meets their business needs.
To balance the level of the automation.
Exactly.
When we are not working in this automation process, we for sure will overload the engineers, and humans being overloaded trends to mistake their actions. And Rodolfo is a huge specialist on offensive security, and how easiest could be an attack when the rules is not right applied, the firewalls is not well managed, or the team is overloaded to work on the best capacity.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Yeah, good question. Well, when we are already inside a network, for example, firewalls or routers or and so on, and this kind of tools are able to grant access or denied access. So when we are inside a phase called lateral movement, or trying to pivoting or do some privilege escalation from a common user for an admin user, we need to do this lateral movement inside the network. And with a firewall, a poorly configured firewall, it's quite, I don't know, it's a piece of cake. You were just there inside the network. Okay, you have a lot of levels to get inside the network, but we have a common penetration test methodology called gray box, where the customer needs to test from an inside perspective their vulnerability. So a poorly configured firewall, it's quite, it's a piece of cake. So it's easy for us to get from one place to another, especially using PowerShell, Python scripts, a lot of stuff that a company needs to allow inside their network. So there are a lot of applications, a lot of stuff that we need to bypass, and this is quite easy. So make the fires on the routers configured, it's okay. And also you said about an overloaded team. We have a small curtain, I think it's in English, but we try to overload people when we need to get inside another part of the network, and then I had to vanish with the logs and so on. So overloaded people buying firewalls or buy anything, it's very good to us to do this deception. Meanwhile, I put something there, a backdoor or so on. So a pretty configured firewall is very bad for